Hi there, Scott, ROCKFILE, back with another podcast review. No spoilers, let's talk about the Fantastic Four First Steps. Saw the first show in Kenai, Alaska yesterday with a pretty full crowd. It wasn't as many people as in the first show of Superman, but, you know, I'll take it for what it was. This is fishing season here, and it wasn't too bad outside, although it was too windy to fly my drone, so I didn't feel bad about watching a movie. Matt Shakman directed this. You know his name from Scarlet Witch. He did a great job with that series, I thought. He also worked on a lot of really good TV shows. So anyway, that's where his background is. And as his first big movie, I think he knocked it out of the park. The short review with no spoilers, it's great. It is what it should be. If you like superhero movies, you're going to like it. It's much different than Superman, so that's another good thing. And it's the first time we got a really good Galactus. And the first time we got a really good Fantastic Four movie. I think they nailed the tone. I think they nailed the characters. Sure, there are differences, but like I've said in many podcasts of these kind of movies, they're never going to get it 100% right because, well, times change. Transporting things from a comic book page to a movie script is actually obviously a tough thing because the really great superhero movies are few and far between. Now, as Superman goes, a lot of people are going to be talking about these two because they came out within 2 weeks of each other. These are apples and oranges if there ever was one. We have so many different kinds of superhero movies now, you can't really go, well, this one compares to this one. That's a lot of my friends ask that. And I'm like, well, Superman was 2 hours of slam, bang, drop you in the middle of the story, have a blast with you, and spit you out the other end, having a great time. It's that kind of movie. Fantastic Four First Steps is more of a film. It has great scale. For a TV guy, he really gets the grandeur of what's going on. They're introducing Galactus into the MCU, and although Ralph Ineson knocks it out of the park like you figured he would, it wouldn't matter if they didn't do it right. I think they did Thanos right, but Galactus is bigger. Well, not just physically, but bigger character, bigger everything. And they really get the scale. I mean, the whole world they've created here, I mean, from the get-go, you know this is not our Earth. It says Earth 282 and the movie starts. Also, you get no origin story here. We get a few lines of what happened 4 years ago. So the movie starts 4 years into the Fantastic Four being on this Earth, and you get to see a little bit of what they do, some superhero stuff, much like the Scarlet Witch show, WandaVision. I meant to say that earlier. They have some like newsreel footage and old TV show footage kind of thing. This is a very retro futuristic kind of world, kind of a 60s but Jetsons kind of thing. And they really nail the look and tone of everything. There's kind of a, oh, wow, gee whiz factor to things. There's kind of a, especially in the first half of the movie, I think, I'm just watching something that I haven't seen before. And that's the best thing about this and the Superman. I think both movies are examples of superhero movies that are trying something different. Now, as a fan of Fantastic Four, as I've said several times, I'm a Marvel fan from childhood. I think they nailed it. These are some of my favorite characters. I got into Fantastic Four. It led me into X-Men and Doctor Strange and all the other stuff I came to love. But Fantastic Four was the first superhero team up in the Marvel Comics before I was born. So when I came along, they were still early into their run, and my early days with their comics. Actually, with the end of this film, I think I read that issue, that this is the imagery of what happens at the end of this movie seemed to be something that I read, or at least parts of it. I don't want to give any spoilers. So the entire movie is a Fantastic Four movie. It doesn't connect to the MCU. Even the two end credit scenes don't really connect. And that's not, I don't think that's a spoiler to say that. Everything stands alone, and I think that's fabulous. Has about a $200 million budget. As of Friday morning, it's already made about $25 million in preview screenings. I think that bodes well for how well it's going to do. If you're wondering, is it a great MCU movie? Well, this is the first of a new phase, and we're on a different Earth, and nothing here relates to, like, they're not dropping in a whole bunch of Deadpool and other there's things that the director dropped in that you might want to pick up on. This will definitely be good for multiple viewings, but this is a deep dive into the Fantastic Four and everything about them. We get the car, we get the robot, we get their building. I mean, the Fantastic Four are pretty much the superheroes on the world, in this particular world, and we deep dive into everything they are. It really catches us up with where we should be in the MCU. These guys should have been in the MCU a long time ago, but due to rights issues with 20th Century Fox and such. How does it compare to the earlier films? Well, it knocks them. This will be the only one I watch going forward. I might as well just sell off the others. I don't have a copy of whatever they did back in the, early 90s, late 80s. I don't know that you could probably get that on DVD. I do have copies of the 2005, 2007 Blu-rays and the 2015, which is a really bad movie. I got it for $5, so it was worth watching. But other than that, and that was probably the worst version of Fantastic Four ever. That 2015 movie directed by Josh Trank got nothing right. In their interest to do something different, well, they got it all wrong. They even had some decent actors in there and made them do horrible things. It was just, blech. So anyway, this is palate cleansing for a lot of things. How it's going to work into the MCU, who knows? This is the 37th MCU film. And like I said, even the end credit scenes do not connect back to the current MCU that we're used to. And I think that's great. This is Marvel doing something else. I think the writers did a good job bringing it to life. This was an original Stan Lee and Jack Kirby thing. Oh, there's a great Jack Kirby quote that they put up on the screen. I thought that was really nice. There's a lot of things I like about the movie, but then I'd have to talk about spoilers. So we'll do that maybe in a second podcast. But I think all the actors, I think Pedro Pascal, who I wondered if he could pull off Reed Richards, does pull off Reed Richards very well. He does not come across as Pedro Pascal, but, obviously he's likable for a reason. But Vanessa Kirby knocks it out of the park. I think she is the best Sue Storm we've ever had, and nailed it. I'm so glad we're going to get more. They're, by the way, they're already, as of Friday morning of opening, they're already planning the sequel. Ebon Moss-Bachrach and Joseph Quinn as the Thing and Human Torch, both great. And they're both given a little bit. Matter of fact, Joseph Quinn, the Human Torch, gets a little bit more than you normally get from him. Sure, he's the Playboy ladies man, but he's also smart, and he's got his own little mystery to solve in this. I think Julia Garner is great as this version of Silver Surfer, Shala Ball, or whatever her name is. She does a fantastic job in the role, especially some surprising things. Paul Walker Hauser is great as Mole Man, but hey, we knew when they announced him being in the movie that he would be Mole Man. All in all, I was thrilled to walk out of the theater. It wasn't the Superman, wow, that was just kick-ass and great. That was a really good movie, and I really like Fantastic Four and want to see more. What both this and Superman do is rekindle my interest in both franchises. I had no interest in seeing any more DC movies. I haven't seen Blue Beetle. There's a few DC movies that I skipped because they didn't sound very good to me. But Superman, rekindled. I want to see what's going to happen going forward. And the same thing with Fantastic Four. I didn't hate the last few MCU movies. I did really like Thunderbolts, but this is what I was looking for MCU to do something different and really do it well. How does it compare to the original movies? As I said earlier, I didn't mention the 2005, 2007. I just reviewed those the other day. The podcast is up. Also, my podcast for the 2015 version is up if you want to sit through that. But those were all quaint, interesting experiments. This is what Fantastic Four should be. I hope it does very well. I know we're going to get more. I can't wait to see how they interface with the rest of the MCU, however that happens. There's some surprises in this film you don't see coming, but everything you want from a Fantastic Four fan, like I said, you see the car, the spaceship, the robot, the little accoutrements that go along with the family vibe of the whole thing. I think it's great. It's an hour and 55 minutes long, including credits and end credit scenes. So it doesn't overstay its welcome. I had a friend say that, well, it was a little simplified. And I'm like, well, because it's not connected to the rest of the MCU. This is a good movie, an all-encompassing story from beginning to end. If they didn't make any more, it just kind of ends with, ta-da, here we go. This is a day in the life of the Fantastic Four on this alternate Earth. But obviously we're going to see more, and it was great. So head out this weekend, see it on the biggest screen possible. It is one of the most beautiful looking, fantastic, MCU movies, especially when we get to the whole Galactus walking through the city part. This is on scale with any Godzilla movie or whatever. It really got the sense of scale and the power and the ferocity of the scenes. Really enjoyed that part of it. Enjoyed the whole thing. Fantastic Four, 2 thumbs up. Scott, I'm ROCKFILE. More podcasts on the way. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to one. Have a spectacular day.